Alright, hi, welcome to Michael Raven's channel. I'm Michael Raven, and this is my first video, and I'm very excited about it. And for the first video, I'm very excited to talk to you about the Get Home bag. This is my personal kit, and I'm going to be sharing sort of the various different gear that's in here, some of the rules that I have about Get Home bags, and the various things that you should take into consideration when creating your own bag. So the Get Home bag, which is shortened as GHB, is something that FEMA, Red Cross, Ready.gov, and even your local boroughs, local governments, cities, or even universities will most likely recommend that you as an individual have in your car and at your work. The reason for that being is that if individuals are prepared for emergencies of any kind, whether it's a simple call 911, a medical emergency, or if it's even something simple like you have to stay overnight at a hospital, you need to respond to something, you need to flee your car, and it's extremely comforting to have in a heightened situation. Some of the rules that I have for Get Home bags, it should be seasonal and it must be seasonal. So right now we're in the summer, so one of the things that's not in here specifically but is in the rest of my car is extra clothes. It should be adjusted every few weeks or months, or as your circumstances change. If you need different medication, if there's certain hygienic items that you want, all sorts of things. It should be custom to fit you. You're much better off going to the dollar store or various different places and creating your own kit instead of buying some kit made by someone else, because there are going to be things that you need or that you should augment it with that won't come in their stock, because those are sort of cookie cutter emergency kits. So it must be custom to fit you. It must be accessible within your car. If let's say you don't have your keys, or let's say there's a power outage, or even worst case scenario, hey, EMP. It's on Ready.gov, so they're telling us it's a concern for them, so it should be a concern for us. So you want to keep it small. You want to keep it low profile. Better you put it under a seat. Or in this case, these two items fit in the Smitty built, which this is, I don't know if you can see that, Smitty built tailgate organizer for the Jeep Wrangler. So it does not need to be expensive, nor should it. These things can be put together at a dollar store, Home Depot. A lot of items that you might have in your sock drawer or your closet would be great to put in here and would serve you better in here than in there. Things that I'm missing from this kit that are not included in this kit but would be in my car would be extra fuel, extra clothes, more food and water. When in doubt, just keep it simple. So everything I've said, better you have something that's just very, very, very basic than get overwhelmed and not having anything at all. So keep in mind the acronym KISS, which is Keep It Simple, Stupid. All right, so this is different from a bug out bag or bailout bag, which would be at your home. But if you're in a rural environment and you're going to be doing things like camping, that's part of your bug out plan, then you would want probably something more than this. But I keep this very cheap because if it was to get stolen out of my car, I wouldn't cry about it. So let's dig into the kit and I'll show you specifically what I have in here. All right, so foodinsurance.com's water filtration bottle basically filters dirty water into relatively clean water. A little water filter sits in here, but you can take it off from the cap, so you can just use this as a regular squirt water bottle. One of my rules is that you must have a first aid kit. There have been so many times that I have used this for various different reasons, various emergency and non-emergency reasons, that I always have one in there, and I'm glad that I do. Anecdotally, I could get into the reasons, but they're probably too numerous to mention. Just having this to prepare for the unprepared, as opposed to saying, well, I don't see where the situation would arise, and then a situation does arrive. So the most common items that I use in here are going to be Advil. Most commonly will ask for Advil because they have headaches, because they haven't properly hydrated, or they just get migraine. The next item is going to be ACE bandages. I've had people come into my kit and take my ACE bandages because they have sprain or something of that sort. A Sharpie, it's very good to have a Sharpie to label various different things. If you put a tourniquet on somebody, you want to label on them that you have placed a tourniquet on them. That's a little thing, but generally you can write down various different things or mark that what you need if you need things like Advil, like I do. I've also had various people at work have asthma attacks, and though this is a prescription medication, it's something that I carry with me because I don't want anyone to have, I know what it's like to have an asthma attack, and it really sucks. So, surgical dressings, basically a trauma kit. Do have some antibiotics in here, but it's always a good thing to have. And it's one of those things when you don't have it, you need it, and when you have it, you typically don't need it. Moving on. This bag itself, dollar store bag. Very simple, very low profile. You wouldn't know if there's a bunch of books in here or what's in here, and it's great to have. It's super, literally cost me $1, and it just works. You don't have to spend a crazy amount of money. You just need something that works. So in the bottom of this bag, just have another water bottle. I have a whole case of water that I keep in my car so I don't go crazy on the water. And it's also important to keep this very, very light, because if you are going to be moving, you do want the ability to run, move quickly, that sort of thing. Emergency blanket, 550 paracord for a cordage, little clip-on light for a hat, or for clip it onto a pocket, various different light settings. I most commonly use this as a reading light or a map light, but very, very useful. I have an old knife. If you have any old knives, old multi-tools, that's something that it's much better service to you keeping it in here than have it in a sock drawer or something like that. It's much better to have it here, and so something that I would otherwise not be using this because it literally was sitting in my sock drawer. Now I have it in here where it's best in service to me. Magnifying glass. You can use it when the light is not diffused, it's not a cloudy day, to start fires. You won't run out of fuel. Great piece of kit. Again, dollar store. Carabiners, cheap carabiners. I can attach this to my bag. You can attach it to a belt. Hearing protection, should you need it. Socks, gotta have socks. Gotta keep those feet warm. And got to protect your feet from blisters and various things. So there's a lot of redundancy in here, and there's a few reasons for that. In case I need to give someone to something, they ask me for it, which when I travel frequently happens because people don't adequately prepare. That's just a fact of life, that a lot of the people you will be with will not adequately prepare, or there may be something that you're missing and you're glad that someone's going to let you borrow. So there are various fire elements in here that are over redundant, and the idea is you want to have layers of preparedness so that you're not relying strictly on one thing. Hey, like I might have a better chance with this. It's just a ferro sparking rod. This is a aviation survival spark light kit. Got it off of Amazon, I think. It's really a piece of junk, or the sparker that came with it just fell apart immediately, but the little quicks that take a spark and light are really good. And it comes with a little packet. Big lighter, matches, big gauze for big trauma things. Hope I never have to use that. Big novelty lighter because you just can't use it, and it's difficult for people to take in case they borrow it. So it's always hysterical, and it's always funny to bring this out. Got that at a gas station, for like $2, let's say. More Neosporin. And that's that for this guy. Okay, moving on. We have this little butt pack which came with the Smittybilt tailgate organizer. Really like this. Even though this is Smittybilt, there's a lot of companies that make this, I guess, just put their name on it. But you can use it as a fanny pack, a butt pack. You can attach it to MOLLE accessible packs and different things, which is why I like it, which is why it goes very good on my tailgate inside the car. Starting off with, I got, pen, Sharpie, paracord. Take your loose paracord if you have it extra from camping or something like that, or if you just have like a bit of string, and make a necklace or a bracelet or a belt or something out of it. I'm able to turn this into this, and it just fits easily, somewhere. Gloves. If you have gloves like I do, and you go through them, or you have old gloves, they can even be dollar store gloves. this one, the left glove of this guy went bad and the right glove of this one went bad. So instead of throwing them away, you just take something that otherwise wouldn't be useful anymore, and now they're useful. Compass. This is probably one of the most expensive pieces of gear in this whole kit, even though it's like 10, 15 bucks. But it's something you gotta have. Multi-tool. Again, it's another blade, but it's not something that's tactical. It's not something that's a weapon. This is made by Tool Logic. Really like it, but it's nearing the end of its days, and I've upgraded it from my everyday carry. And it's not something I'm going to go camping with, but it's still very useful, and it's something that will be of better service to me in this kit. And it also has pliers and everything like that, so it's very much a tool, not a weapon. Another striker, 2 big lighters. Crayons can be used as candles. They can be used as wax to enhance fire starters, if you have fire starters, to enhance the duration of those. Or you can use it to write with. Flashlight, cheapo, flashlight. Keys, in case you get locked out of your home, you get locked out of work, you get locked out of your shed, whatever you need, just put an extra pair of keys in there. Cheapo, $5 multi-tools, like a $5 Leatherman thing. Or in case someone wants to borrow it, if you have redundancy, you're able to let them borrow it. Now that becomes a force multiplier because now they have a multi-tool, because you can depend on them being undependable, and and now you don't have to worry about not having one because they didn't have it. So I always like to have redundancy there. This is called a UV buff. Extremely helpful, has come in handy so much when traveling. And I just came back from Israel, and this was a huge lifesaver. Whether it's winter or summer, this is something that's so helpful. You can use it as a headband. You can use it on your wrist when you don't want to use it anymore. It's reversible, so the inside's going to be like a white, very low profile. But let's say if you want to cover your face, you can cover your face. You can have it as a neckerchief, you can have it as a headband, you can have it as a balaclava, and if you want to wear glasses or goggles with it, you will have your face completely covered. It saved me from horseflies, mosquitoes, you name it, so many times. So glad to have it, and that's probably one of the more expensive pieces of my kit in here. Maps. Maps are a must-have. It's so basic, you gotta have it. It's something that across the board, every government agency recommends that you have in your car. And you'll start with your state map. If you travel across multiple states, have those state maps. If you're traveling to a new state, get the state map. At the least, you'll probably learn a few things about that state. So you gotta have the state map, going from wide, getting closer up, regional map. This is the Philadelphia and Southeast Pennsylvania map. And then a pocket map, with a Ziploc bag around it, makes it water resistant. Highlight your routes, highlight bridges, and circle, identify various different points that you either frequent, such as your apartment building or something like that, people's houses, or here's a university, here's Center City, here's the art museum, so that you have those as quick references, and you can keep this in your pocket, and it's easy to see. This is from the U.S. Department of Geology or something like that, or Geological Society or something like that. Ace bandage, good to have redundancy. Power bars. There's a little strap in here that comes with it, so you can use this as a satchel. A little pencil sharpener, so you can take little small twigs, sharpen them up so that you have the shavings as a quick tinder kindling. And that about wraps it up. So this all goes onto the back of my tailgate, sits there, everything's very cheap. Many of these are $1 items or things that I would even have discarded or would have put to the side. Very, very useful. You should definitely have one. I mean, if the government and your local agencies are telling you that you should have one, they either know something you don't, or you're just foolish not to have something together. I've had this for a while, I've used it, it's super helpful. Like I said, the only thing that I don't have in here that I have in my car is things like our extra fuel, extra clothes, more food and water. The notepad is not in there because I'm using it right now, and a USB or a physical printout of important documents, things like phone numbers, emergency contact information, if you need any specific existential knowledge. Hey, it's all at your fingertips if you have a little notepad, mile markers, that sort of thing. And that's just my recommendation. So let me know what you think of my kit, what you have in yours. Really look forward to creating more videos. Subscribe. I'll be releasing one every week or 2 weeks. And I hope you enjoyed.